I've had a few requests to see the painted papers that I made during the Journaling by Fives background bash at my house. So I'm going to do just a quick flip through of those. Some of these were done afterwards. I had all the paint and stuff set up in the breakfast area of my kitchen, and I just left it set up for like 2 weeks. You know, it was there, it was out. I might as well make good use of it, and probably would have left it indefinitely if it weren't for the snarky comments from my family about, well, she's got a whole room. Does she have to take over this one too? You know. You know what I'm talking about. So anyway, these are what I made. These, I'm not going to flip through each one of these because they all look basically the same. I did these after Journaling by Fives background bash fest thing, and I had tables lined with plastic and paper set up, so these are all scrap papers, you know, junk pages, and I just lined them out on the tables and then just literally started throwing paint on them. And my goal through this whole thing was to get rid of some paints that I was either tired of, or a lot of the ones that just had a little bit left. You know, I water them down so that I can get that last drop out, and I just wanted to use them up. And I did. I probably used up, I don't know, 8 or more little bottles of craft paint that way. So, yeah, after it was all over and I had, you know, just a few left, I threw them down and did this on them. The blue on here is actually a dye re-inker, and there's some chalk paint underneath which acts like gesso, which doesn't make the dye re-inker happy because, you know, it likes to soak in. If it doesn't soak in, it sits on top, and then if you get it wet, it will smear forever. So some of these I'll have to seal them before I use them, unless, you know, the smearing is not an issue. But, you know, I know that ahead of time, so no big deal. And I got rid of the last little bit of that re-inker that I needed to, and a bunch of paints. So that's what these are. They all kind of look the same. And then the rest of these are, I think I showed my house book already. I worked on that during our background bash. Did some painting in there. And these are some of the pages I took out. And then the circles I did afterwards. I have a separate video for that. By the way, if you're looking for a particular video on my channel, if you go to my channel's homepage and you look and it's like, oh my gosh, 300 videos. How am I going to find the one that I'm looking for? I try to thoroughly tag all of my videos with every keyword I can think of that it will let me. There's a limit to how many tags you can put. But if you type in a keyword in the search, you'll see a little menu bar on my channel homepage, and there's, you know, the little magnifying glass search thing. If you click on that, you can search my channel and just type in a keyword for whatever video you're looking for, and it should come up. You know, if you're looking for the one where I make gesso, type in gesso. Circles, type in circles. Bookbinding. Background pages, mixed media, junk journals, you know, anything like that. I do try to tag them thoroughly so it makes them easily searchable for you. I do that for you. I'm just a giver that way. Okay, totally off subject, but you needed to know. Now, back to the painted papers. These were done with mostly, or maybe all, acrylic. No, there's some in here. I used my water-soluble oil pastels because my circle pages are in here. I did those after the Journaling by Fives deal. So water-soluble oil pastels and watered-down acrylic paint is what you're looking at. Applied in various ways, usually slapping it on with a card or these black marks. These were with my homemade toilet paper tube roller thing, which is on a video somewhere. You know, use the search thingy. There's your opportunity. So And a lot of the times when I'm doing this major painting deal, I do front and back, just because. Because I usually have paper stacked like this, and they're all recycled papers, nothing brand new. I just stack them up and start painting, and then put it underneath, and then flip it over, and then smush the water out. You know that thing. You've seen me do that before. So a lot of them are front and back. Some aren't, but that's what that's all about. I've had too much coffee. I'm sorry. Rein it in, Shannon. Okay. All right. Here we go. You know what? This turned out really cool, and it's a page out of a I forget what, but it has a diagram on it. And there's several like this, and a couple of them are out of like a old geometry textbook. And you can see the pictures faintly underneath, and I really like that. A lot of these are some old book pages, which are kind of delicate. But they really are some of my favorite things to use, especially the ones like the children's books with illustrations, because you can kind of see through if you use watered down paints. I know, cool, right? And see, I can say that because I didn't do anything to get this awesome look. I seriously just slapped the paint on there and hoped for the best. And a lot of times I'll just use one color, I will slap it on 20 pages, and then I'll go to another color and go back through the pages, and that keeps them from getting too muddy because, you know, they'll dry a little bit in between. I'll have to speed this up or we'll be here all day. You get the idea. They kind of all start to look the same after a while because I had the same paints, and I only know one painting technique. Slap it on. Look how pretty. It's just pretty, I think. Even the muddy ones are pretty. These are some, I think Donna Joy gave me these, and she had cut words out of them to use, and this is what was left, and I just thought that was fun. I love shorthand books. I've got a couple of those. And foreign books. These were just, I don't remember what I was cleaning up. I was cleaning up something, you know, did the peel it off thing, and I just loved the blue and the brown. So I didn't add a thing to those. Now don't ask me what I'm going to do with these pages. I don't have a plan for them. I treat them just like I would any other decorative scrapbook paper. You know, whatever you use pretty patterned scrapbook paper for, you can use these for. You know, they're a little bit lighter weight, some of them, because these are just a lightweight book page, and some are magazine pages. But it's just another decorative paper. So, don't ask me what I'm going to do with it. That's like, you know, if you buy a scrapbook paper pad, you're not going to ask, well, what are you going to do with that? Well, you're going to do all kinds of stuff with it. Same with these. And if you're making these papers, keep that in mind. You're basically making your own scrapbook paper. You don't have to have a purpose in mind for it at the time. Just enjoy the process of making it, and then figure it out later. You'll be working on a project, and you'll remember, oh, I have that awesome painted paper I should use. Another one of those. These made me happy, clearly, because I didn't mess with them after that. And a few circles. And when I am painting these papers, You know, I lay out several. I work on several at a time. I put green on everything, and then blue, and then yellow, and you know, just keep doing all colors. Don't worry about what goes together, and set them aside. Start another stack, and then when the first stack dries, I'll go back through it, and I'll kind of assess which ones I want to leave. Like like this, I was like, okay, I really like this. This one's finished, so I put that in my finished pile. But another one, I might think, that needs a little something, so I'll put it back in the hopper to be painted on again. And that's my process. Paint on a bunch, let them dry, look at them, separate the ones that need a little something more and the ones that you like just the way they are. So I have a whole stack in there of papers that went back into the hopper. They have some paint on them, but they just didn't look finished to me. They needed something else. So my next painting session, I'll pull those out and add a little something to them. Sometimes I add a little too much. That's alright. It's all good. Oh, I didn't even do that one. Donna Joy gave me this. She did this one, and I think it's on sticker paper. So I'm going to cut that, or maybe punch it into some awesome stickers or something. Now we get into the circles, which I probably showed you. I don't remember. I think I may have showed you all the circle pages already. These are the oil pastels that I used, the ones that were melted into a blob. Yeah, I did try to use those up. I didn't use them up, but I did use quite a bit of them. I'm still doing circles. Yeah, I just can't seem to walk away from them yet. Because clearly I don't have enough. So I've got a good supply of painted papers to work with for a while. And then I'll just do it all over again. These are some ugly scrapbook papers that I didn't care for. You know, there's always some in that paper pad that you don't really like. And just paint over those. Paint over them several times. I think that this one was left over from the where I made the blossoms with water. There's a video for that, you know, search for it. But it didn't look finished. It didn't have enough definition on it, so I put it back in the hopper and painted over it. That one got circled. That one was oil pastels. I really like that. I need to make something out of that because that just looks good. And there we have it. Why did I pull that one out separate? Now I have to refile it. Okay. That was all I did. Oh, at the very end, I pulled out some Rolodex cards and did a little, had some scraps that were left over from something I was doing. I don't remember, one of those other videos. The deconstructed art journal, maybe. No. The, oh heck, I don't know. Anyway, there's that. Okay, these were the oil pastels, you know, that were melted in the blob. If you just do like this across the page, and then I took a wet brush and blended them, and it made all these great stripes. I just love them. I don't know what's going to happen to them, but I'm going to put them in my little Rolodex holder deal and see what happens. They're like, you know, iCAD backgrounds ready to be foregrounded or something. Okay, I've got a big stack of projects here to show you stuff that I'm working on, but let's do that in another whole video. So for this one, that's it. The end.